Exorcism of A Spinster. I thank all of you for coming out tonight.
My album is called The Exorcism of A Spinster, and what inspired it was obviously the fact that I am the lady I am talking about in the album. I'm talking about all women my age and unmarried who can be called spinster in certain contexts. And I had many stories to tell when it comes to spinsterhood and expectations from society, personal expectations. There are just so many stories to discuss around that issue. But my album was talking about, one of the interesting things is when I launched it, everyone thought I was getting married. That was the exorcism of a spinster. But in fact, the exorcism of a spinster is the spinster getting exorcised from negative narratives of spinsterhood or negative interpretations of spinsterhood. And it's being assertive and taking control of your life and living it to the fullest with or without marriage, and owning it and living life abundantly wherever you are in your life. So it was a celebration of that, and that was the context in which I was talking about an exorcism. I also liked the title because it got a lot of people wondering, so what are you talking about? So what's happening? What are you talking about in the album? The preparation of the album launch was hectic. Because when I started preparing for the album launch, we were using a different currency. By the time I did the album launch, we were using a different currency, and there were different rules with regards to legal tender. That just caused a lot of complications on the financial side of things. It was also hectic because there were a lot of things that had to be on point. I went all out for this album launch as an event. For me, it was a celebration of the album, a celebration of what I was talking about in the album. And it became really, really personal. I sang with my dad. So I went all out. The preparations were very hectic because of that. We had intensive rehearsals with the band for over 2 months. But within all the hard work and all of that, it was extremely fun. One of the most important things is doing what you really love to do. So when it becomes hectic and taxing time-wise, money-wise, you don't feel the pain because it's something you like doing. So yeah, I enjoyed the preparations. Yes, I was singing with my dad for the first time on stage and in front of my fans. It was a huge honor. It's a moment I will cherish to the grave and beyond. It was really beautiful, really exceptional. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that with my family. I wouldn't have minded Stoddart, in fact. When I started preparing for my album launch, I wanted to launch the album in my village, Kamsana, and then I thought of Highfield, also Pasije. But all those venues are not equipped for a concert, so it meant my expenses would be probably double. I chose Reps because it's well equipped already with a lot of things, so the things that I had to bring in were fewer. That's number one. Number two, Reps is built for performances. So even my audience would sit properly and everyone would have a great view of the stage. I like the stage, also the space on the stage. And I like PJ, the guy from Reps, is very lovely to work with. And Reps is quite central. It's quite easy for people to get to. So in the end, yeah, that was the venue of choice because of all those conveniences. there's always those who can't access any place. Even if I had the album launch here in town in my flat, there's always going to be those who can't access it. But it was quite central in the sense that I could have launched in my village. Hello? I could have launched out of Harare even. So yeah, I mean, there were a few old challenges and all that, but Reps is not too far, I thought. Yeah, and it went well. It's exciting because I entered the world music charts in Europe at number 3, which is it's a great thing for my album. This is the first album that I launched internationally, so that was very exciting news. I am looking forward to a lot more on the international scene. There have been several great reviews also locally. Press has received my album very well, and I have great feedback from fans online. I'm excited, and I'm really happy that I went all out for the album. Also, I went for the best mastering and mixing and all that. It's an exciting product, and I'm loving the love so far. I started recording the album here in Harare at Monolio Studios with Mono. And then from there, so while we were recording here, then I got all the musicians I needed on the album to play while we were still recording it here. So Elisha, my bassist from then, and my drummer then, Malvin Cheremari, played on certain songs. And then from Monolio Studio here in Harare, I continued with the album in Norway at Erik Njalande's studio. And then he played drums on most of the songs. And then I went and laid final vocals there. From there, we took it for mixing in Denmark with a guy called August. And then it went for mastering with Stockholm Mastering. That's how we made the album. In the near future, I'm excited to say I've already started working on my next 2 albums. I'm so excited about them. I've always been experimental with mbira, but I would say now I'm more assertive about it and certain. So my next 2 albums are going to be highly irregular. That's the name of the next album. Playing around with all possibilities mbira-wise, taking it into different music spaces. And I've been writing a lot and reading a lot, so there's a lot that's been happening in my mind. So what I can promise my fans from now is I'm really working and enjoying the work. So I'm pretty certain my fans are going to enjoy what I'm working on right now. So the album has 1 video so far to the song called Idenga. You can go watch it on YouTube. It's a beautiful, sexy video. We're working on the video for Dreams of Dande, and hopefully we'll finish with a video for Muregere, the Exorcism of A Spinster. So visit my YouTube, go and watch some fantastic videos. And follow Hope Masika online. I like having fun with my fans. So after all is said and done, for this product to finally get into your hands, it takes a lot of work and a whole team of different people. So I'd like to say shout out to the Zimbabwe media. They've been so supportive and giving a lot of love to the album before the album launch, during and after the album launch. Shout out to you for supporting local, and shout out to my photographer for the album cover. His name is Tinashe Windingwi. Proudly, loudly Zimbabwean. I think he did a great job there. Hey. Shout out to my band who played with me on the album. Shout out to Zimbanete. They've been teaching me a lot of traditional songs and mbira. Some of the songs are here. Shout out to Stan Johnny, who's been doing all these videos for me in promotion of the entire project and who's doing this video also. Shout out to a whole lot of people. Divine Sounds, they came and pimped up my stage for the album launch. Shout out to Yanai Designs, I was looking fantastic in my dresses. Shout out to Makeup by Gamu, I was looking pretty. Oh man, shout out to everyone who made everything possible. It takes a whole huge team, so thank you to everyone. And finally, shout out to you for following my music. So I have 3 albums to my name. Hope is the first one, Mbira Love and Chocolate was the second one, and the third one, The Exorcism of A Spinster. You can get this on all major online stores, iTunes, Amazon, and you can get it everywhere. The Exorcism of A Spinster. Get it if you know what's good for you. Thank me later.